There is a currency worth over $1.5 trillion. It has no government backing it, no gold backing it, no building, no CEO, no customer service number. And the person who invented it, nobody knows who they are. They vanished, just gone, left behind the most valuable financial experiment in human history, and disappeared without a trace. 36 million Americans own this thing right now. And here's what kills me. You were probably told one of two things about Bitcoin: either it's magic internet money for criminals and nerds, or it's going to the moon, buy everything you own. Neither of those is the truth. The truth is more complicated and more interesting. Bitcoin is either the most important financial invention since paper money, or the biggest speculative bubble in modern history, maybe both. And the fact that nobody sat you down and explained how it works, where it came from, and what it actually is before you potentially put your money into it. That's the problem. So here's what they should have told you. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where Bitcoin came from, who might have created it, what it's actually backed by, whether it's a real safe haven like gold, and what you need to understand before you ever put a dollar into it. No hype, no doom, just the actual information. Let's get into it. The year is 2008. The entire global economy is collapsing. Banks are failing. People are losing their homes. The government is bailing out the same financial institutions that caused the crash with your money. And somewhere, someone anonymous is watching all of this, and they're furious. On October 31st, 2008, a person, or possibly a group of people, going by the name Satoshi Nakamoto, published a 9-page document online. It was called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. 9 pages, that's it. That changed everything. The paper described a new kind of money, one that didn't need banks, didn't need governments, didn't need anyone to trust anyone else. It used something called a blockchain to make that work. Let me break that down. A blockchain is basically a public record book. Every single Bitcoin transaction ever made is recorded on it, and that record book isn't stored in one place. It's copied across thousands of computers around the world simultaneously. So to fake a transaction, you'd have to hack thousands of computers at the exact same time. Nearly impossible. No bank in the middle. No one controlling it. The network controls itself. This was revolutionary. Genuinely revolutionary. Not tech bro hype. Actually revolutionary. And then Satoshi Nakamoto did something nobody in history had ever done. They built it, released it, and disappeared. January 2009, the Bitcoin network goes live. By 2010, Satoshi stops communicating with the developer community. By 2011, completely gone. No goodbye, no press conference, no LinkedIn update, just silence, and a $1.78 trillion invention left running on its own. This is where it gets genuinely wild. We have no idea who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Not a guess, not a rumor, no idea. Over the years, investigators, journalists, and internet detectives have pointed fingers at several people. Dorian Nakamoto, a California engineer whose real name happens to be Satoshi Nakamoto. A Newsweek reporter tracked him down in 2014. He denied everything. His English didn't match the writing style of the white paper. Most experts dismissed it. Hal Finney, a brilliant cryptographer who received the very first Bitcoin transaction ever sent. He was also a neighbor of Dorian Nakamoto, which sounds insane. He denied being Satoshi before his death in 2014. Nick Szabo, a computer scientist who wrote about a hypothetical digital currency called BitGold years before Bitcoin existed. The similarities are striking. He has denied it repeatedly. Adam Back, a British cryptographer whose work was directly cited in the Bitcoin white paper, he also denies it. All denied, none proven, case still open. Here's what we do know from the writing and technical clues Satoshi left behind. The white paper uses British spellings, words like color and favor. The Bitcoin code has timestamps that suggest the author was most active during UK or East Coast hours. The wallet containing the original Bitcoins mined by Satoshi, estimated at around 1 million Bitcoin, has never been touched, never moved, once. If Satoshi is still alive, and we don't know that, they are sitting on approximately $85 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they have never touched a single coin. Either they're dead, or they're the most disciplined person in human history, or they walked away on principle. We genuinely don't know. And here's why that matters beyond just being a cool mystery. If those coins ever moved, if Satoshi came back and started selling, the market would panic immediately. The price would crater. A single unknown person or group holds that kind of power over a $178 trillion asset class. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's just math. This is the question everyone asks and nobody answers clearly. So let's answer it clearly. The dollar is backed by the US government. The US government says it's worth something. And because the US government has military power, taxing authority, and the largest economy on earth, we believe them. Gold is backed by physical scarcity. There's only so much of it in the ground. You can hold it. It doesn't rust or expire. Humans have agreed it's valuable for literally thousands of years. So what backs Bitcoin? Three things, and you need to understand all three. Number one, mathematical scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Ever. That number is written into the code. Nobody can change it. Not a government, not a corporation, not even the developers who maintain the network today. By comparison, the US government has printed trillions of new dollars over the last decade. More dollars chasing the same stuff means each dollar buys less. That's inflation. Bitcoin cannot be inflated. The supply is fixed. Forever. Number two, computational work. New Bitcoin is created through a process called mining. Miners are computers, often entire warehouses full of computers, solving complex math problems to verify transactions. That process burns real electricity, real energy, real cost. So, in a strange sense, Bitcoin is backed by energy, by actual work. It's not just made up numbers. Real resources go into creating each coin. Number three, network trust. This one's abstract but important. Bitcoin is worth something because millions of people have agreed it's worth something. They buy it, sell it, and accept it as payment. That's also true of the dollar, or gold, or any currency ever. All money is ultimately a shared belief. Bitcoin just runs that belief on math instead of government. Now, here's the honest part. That also means if that shared belief ever collapsed, if people stopped trusting it, Bitcoin could go to zero. That's a real risk, not a small risk, a real one. It's also a real risk for every fiat currency in history. Most national currencies from 100 years ago no longer exist. Both things are true at the same time. You've heard people call Bitcoin digital gold, a safe haven, a hedge against inflation, a place to put your money when the world gets scary. Let's check that claim against reality. Gold's entire reputation as a safe haven is built on one thing. When stocks crash, gold tends to hold its value or go up. Investors flee to it because it's stable. Bitcoin's history tells a different story. In 2017, Bitcoin hit nearly $20,000, then dropped 80% in 1 year. In 2021, it hit $67,000, then dropped over 75%. It recently hit an all-time high above $126,000, then pulled back hard. An asset that regularly drops 75-80% is not behaving like a safe haven. Gold doesn't do that. Now, Bitcoin supporters have a response to this, and it's not wrong. They say Bitcoin is still early. It's 17 years old. Gold has thousands of years of history, and over every 4-year period in Bitcoin's existence, it has ended higher than it started. That's also true. Here's the real answer on safe haven status. Right now, in 2026, Bitcoin is not a traditional safe haven. It's a high risk, high volatility, speculative asset that has also shown long term appreciation. It behaves more like a tech stock than like gold. 28% of Americans own some form of crypto now. Multiple Bitcoin ETFs were approved, meaning you can now buy Bitcoin exposure through a regular investment account without a crypto wallet. Corporations hold it on their balance sheets. Governments are discussing it as a reserve asset. Legitimacy is growing, but volatility hasn't disappeared. That gap between legitimacy and stability is exactly where you need to be careful. Jordan is 17 with her first paycheck. She hears Bitcoin is the future and drops $500 into it. Two possibilities. In 5 years, that $500 could be worth $2,000, or it could be worth $80. Both outcomes have happened to real people with real money. The question isn't whether Bitcoin is real. It is real. The question is, what percentage of your money can you afford to lose completely without it destroying your life? That's the only number that matters. Financial advisors generally say no more than 5 to 10% of your portfolio in high-risk assets. Bitcoin qualifies as high risk. That's not an opinion. That's its own price history testifying. So here's the full picture. Bitcoin was created by an anonymous genius, or group of geniuses, who watched the 2008 financial crash and decided to build an exit from the traditional banking system. They built it, released it, and vanished. We still don't know who they are. Bitcoin is backed by mathematical scarcity, real computational work, and collective human trust. It is not backed by a government, not by gold, not by anything you can touch. It is not a true safe haven yet. It's volatile. It crashes hard. It also recovers hard. And it is more legitimate today than it has ever been. Here's your one action for today. If you're curious about Bitcoin, don't buy anything yet. Go to Coinbase.com or any major exchange and create a free account. Just watch. Watch the price move for 30 days. Watch how it reacts to news. Watch how your emotions react to the swings. If you see it drop 15% in a week and feel genuine panic, that tells you something important about your actual risk tolerance. Then decide, not based on hype, not based on fear, based on what you actually saw and felt. That's how you make a real financial decision. The world of money is changing, and the fact that nobody taught you how it works before asking for your paycheck, that's exactly why we're here. Follow for the next one. We're just getting started.